Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am tired because I recorded this once already, and let's just say, that footage is horrible. Not really horrible, it is, gone for some reason. I don't know why my phone does this all the time, but it doesn't like to save videos that are like under 4 minutes long. So now we're doing this again, and hopefully we're gonna make it a little bit longer. That sounded really weird. Interesting. But so today I'm doing a requested video about my Kermit the Frog puppet. I'm not really gonna be doing a tutorial, I'm more just gonna be saying how I made it. Yesterday or last night I recorded the Christmas display video, which will probably be going up, I guess, tomorrow, December 25th. This one hopefully will be going up today, depending on how long I have to just kind of post it. I gotta go to a Christmas party today, so, but it's December 24th, you know. But yeah, so this is my Kermit the Frog puppet. I believe last time he already had fingers, but if he didn't, here are his fingers. I don't remember if he did or not. But, yeah, so he was a Macy's plush. He's about, I think, a 16, like, from, like, the tip of his toes, or, like, if you were to stand him up, he's, like, a 16-inch tall plush. Rather large. So the way I did it was, this one already has like a plastic plate in its mouth, so I just left that, and then I made a slit down the back, actually where the seam is, and I glued either end around like his neck. I glued like here and here, and I glued here and here, so it wouldn't like fray or continue to come undone. I then glued in a piece of felt about here in his neck, like about here. The piece of felt is glued like here, and then it comes down to the bottom, like around, you can kind of see it in there, this piece. It's glued in there, and it's glued around the front of his neck. That keeps all the stuffing that's in his stomach and in his arms and everything down inside of him, and not like up in his head where my hand is, you know, controlling his mouth. Now, I did unstuff him and restuff him because of the fact that I didn't like that his elbows were kind of not bending right, and his knees. Like, I just restuffed his arms and legs. So they now bend in the right spot. But yeah, you know, very simple. His eyes are plastic. These eyes are actually covered in like a slight fuzz material. I did have to repaint his pupils. I just used a paint marker for that. That worked actually really well. But the one thing I can say, I'm going to go into a little bit more depth of how you could do it. His hands. Now, his hands are a different story. So, his thumb, his hands were like this. They were like zone, but so I cut them in between each finger, and then the thumb was already there. I then took a piece of craft foam, or, well, here, I think I have some over here, maybe. Let me see if I can find it over here in my room. Yes, okay. Found some. Now, you can buy it in all colors. It's this stuff. It's really thin sheets of foam. You know. I should have used this color because, as you can see, that matches a lot better than, well, black. But so you can kind of see the black in there. What I did was I took wire, just armature wire that would actually be used for clay sculpting. You can get most of these materials at Michael's. And I did this all with a glue gun. But, You can buy most of this all at Michael's, obviously besides the Kermit the Frog plush, you know. But so, and then I took this, I slit the side of his hand open, and I glued the 2 fingers, I bent V's out of the wire, and this one actually I did like that one, and then that one, and then kind of brought it back down again to do this one. It, actually, sorry about that, you guys. Once again, I had to accept a call. That was my mom. Anyways, yeah, so with him, I just glued those pieces down to, what I did was I took this foam stuff, I cut out like a rectangle, and I folded it in half, and I glued it like shut on the top, like, you know, and then like on the side, and I kind of made it so there was like a little hole in it. What I did with that, I did that so I could, use these custom arm rods. Now, this step is optional with, like, leaving the little hole in it for his hands. You still have to put that piece in there to support the finger wires. I just slipped that in the slit in the side of his hand, you can see. But, and glued it in. And then I just glued the kind of fingers shut with the glue gun. These ones are a little bit loose. But, yeah. So, these are my custom armature wires. These are made out of a metal coat hanger. And some of this stuff. See, so it was a metal coat hanger that I straightened and I cut in half. And I then, like, bent the edges into hooks. And then the bases I just kind of wrapped and glued this stuff on. It's just, you know, quick little handles. You can make much better handles and you'll get much better wire and stuff. But this is just what I had laying around. Now, with these, the reason there's a little hole in the side of his hand is so that you could either slip these in like that and then control them like that. That's more of a professional, you know, armature, you know, hand rod technique, is, you know, making a little hole for them to slip in. And even this is not very, you know, fancy. But then the reason this has the hook is because with puppets that don't have the hole, you can slide, well, it's hard with puppets that also have the hole to slide the armature wire in, but you can kind of hook it around like their wrists or just the middle of their hand sometimes. And you can do more things like that, you know, and it's just, you know, you see, just hook it around there. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but you see, just hook it on the wrist. And that's that. Now, the one thing that is the way you do a puppet when you would do this puppet differently is instead of doing this, instead of having your hand going through the back of him, more like this, you know, just custom puppet style, honestly more ventriloquist style, you could go like Sesame Muppet style, which is more like what the actual Kermit the Frog is. You would not do any of this cutting here, and you would cut a hole here. I know, the butt. You would cut a hole, sometimes towards the back, and you would cut this hole like about, you know, so your hand can go in it and then go up to his mouth and control it, you know, like that. Or, well, I guess like that, you know. But, yeah, and then what you would do for that is leave a little bit of stuffing in there for, you know, to give him some weight, and obviously leave the stuffing in his arms. And then you would roll a tube of felt, like, because that's what I use for just material for them. You could use fleece or whatever else you have. And then you would roll a tube, glue it up or sew it up, you know, stitch it up, whatever. And then you would stitch it around the hole in the bottom. Or, well, first you would glue or stitch it around the whole, like, neck, because you wouldn't have any stuffing in his head still. You would glue it around, because there wouldn't be this here. But you would glue it around there. And then you would add a little bit of stuffing to give him a little bit of weight, and you glue it around the bottom, and then you could just put your hand up in there. That is pretty much the end of this video as far as things go, making a Kermit the Frog or Elmo or really any puppet out of a stuffed animal. Like I said, one day I might do a tutorial on this, but yeah, that's pretty much that for this video, guys, and peace out. See you in the next video.